One of the hardest places to be in a relationship is caring deeply and feeling like you're the only one trying. This is very common, and it doesn't automatically mean that the relationship is doomed. Sometimes you can both feel like you're trying, but you're trying for different things. So we want to kind of look at how we're going to engage. We're not looking at how do I make my partner engage, but how do I respond or engage my partner in a way that is effective, grounded, and self respecting? So let's take a little look at what not engaging might mean. From a Gottman lens, this could be stonewalling. So this is a kind of shutdown due to overwhelm. It's not always avoidance. Sometimes it's flooding. Emotionally overwhelmed, we've gone into fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode. Signs of flooding can look like withdrawal or silence, leaving conversations, sometimes defensiveness. The lights are on but nobody's home type of look. They may not be refusing you. They may be protecting themselves. It isn't always about the way we've said something. Sometimes it is about the way we receive something. And depending on our own internal narratives and our own histories, we may hear things that shut us down because we're protecting ourselves. So people avoid discomfort, they avoid conflict, they avoid vulnerability, and they avoid feeling inadequate. I mean, that makes sense. So avoidance is really a short term relief, but the long term consequence is disconnection. And that may be part of what is going on in the relationship. So we want to take a little shift. We want to shift from control to influence. You can't force engagement. This pretty much always backfires. But you can influence the emotional climate. So I know I've talked about some of these tools before. Soften startup. Replace a harsh startup or any criticism with I feel, followed by a feeling word, about what you see with your eyeballs, and I need, or could you please? Okay. If you want to reduce your side of the four horsemen, make sure you're not being critical. Make sure there isn't a little contempt sneaking in there, the I'm better than you or the heck, right? Watch your own defensiveness and stonewalling. Manage your side of the street there. You want to make it safe for your partner to engage. Sometimes we don't even realize that we're doing any of those things. So just remember that when you're trying to make it safe, your tone matters, probably a little more than the content. You want to make your partner feel emotionally safe. Again, while we're talking about our side of the street, let go of the struggle to control their response. Focus more on what kind of partner do I want to be right now? Move forward from your values, the things that's important for you to do, not reactivity toward what they are doing. A common trap is to try and engage by like over functioning, right? So this looks like one partner keeps going. They pursue harder and harder, and the other one already a little bit withdraws more. And this creates that classic pursuer withdraw cycle, right? So we don't want to do that. That's just going to keep us in the same space, right? Running on a little hamster wheel. So try and stay emotionally present without chasing. So something like, I care about this and this is important for me to talk about with you. I'm here to talk when you're ready. Respect the pause. If your partner isn't ready, that doesn't mean they get away with never coming back to the table, but it's important to let them take space and take a break. When we look at the research, we look at least 20 minutes if you are having a conversation and somebody gets flooded or a bit activated. Okay. Take the time it takes. For you, notice your urges. Notice if you have an urge to push, to fix, or to demand. And then choose behavior that's aligned with who you want to be. It's probably not pushing, fixing, or demanding. Another important distinction has to do with boundaries and ultimatums. Again, one is a controlling behavior. Ultimatum is a controlling behavior. We're trying to not control behavior because that doesn't get us anywhere. A boundary is clarifying what you will and won't participate in. So a boundary example might be, I'm not willing to keep having conversations where I feel shut out. I'm open to finding a different way together. Invite collaboration. What would make it easier for you to engage? Okay. A boundary is something that you hold, not something you make somebody else hold, by the way. If you try and make your partner hold the boundary or your child, it's not going to work. That's going to feel like control to them. Know when it's a pattern and know when maybe it needs a little more. So one person can't sustain a relationship alone. That is kind of an unfortunate reality. You may really love your partner and you may really want to be with them. And if they aren't in it, you can't do it on your own. Signs that you might need some outside support: if you've got chronic disengagement, if there isn't a willingness to try new approaches or to hear you out, couples therapy, regardless of the approach, whether it's Gottman or Imago or emotionally focused, those are great options to engage each other in a different way, to try and form that connection or have those conversations that are hard to have with the support of somebody who's got the tools to help you. If your partner won't go to couples therapy, or you could try a workshop. If it's not super dire, you could try something like 7 Principles for Making Marriage Work, or you could try Art and Science of Love, Love Sense, all of those things. Great workshops that you can go to. And maybe that would help get the ball going. If your partner won't go to anything, individual therapy for you can still help you respond differently. Now, I know that I just said one person can't sustain a relationship alone, but if we're looking to possibly create change and we're looking to affect a system, if one piece of that system changes, the whole system is affected. We can't predict entirely how it would be affected, but at least you're out of the pattern. Okay, so if you respond differently, that might encourage your partner to respond differently or engage you in a different way. Harriet Lerner kind of attributes this like a dance, right? If you're dancing with a partner and you change the step, your partner is either going to try and change with you or stop dancing. That sometimes does happen. Okay, you deserve a relationship where effort flows both ways. And your job is not to force connection, but to show up with clarity and steadfastness and self-respect. Using gentle encouragement, your small shifts in how you show up can change the pattern, but not all patterns will change. So, what would it look like to stay connected to your values, even here where some patterns don't change? Maybe you can notice, are you a pursuer? Or maybe you're the withdrawer. What helps you feel safe enough to engage with your partner? And you can also consider maybe one value that you would like to bring into your next hard conversation, whether that's patience or kindness or understanding or supportiveness. Either way, you're doing the right thing. Keep it up. Take care of yourself and each other.